Welcome back to my channel. It is Majestically Maya, and today I'm going to show you how I made this romper. Well, I didn't make it, but I definitely made some alterations, and I'm just going to walk you through that process. One of my personal goals has been learning how to use my sewing machine better and to begin making my own clothing and items that I enjoy doing. Like back in the day, I made a very complicated blanket, and I'm going to be just trying to make my own clothing and my dog clothes and all of that. So this is the beginning of that journey. As a woman who's 5 feet tall and 2 inches, when I buy things online, they are usually too long. And that was the case with this jumpsuit. I had to cut off about 5 inches of fabric and hem the bottom. And then, as you can see, the straps were also too long and there was too much space showing on the side boob, and then because the straps were so long, they kept falling off, which I did not show, but the top was too tight and it was flattening my bust. So I had to open up the area so that I had space for my boobs at the top, shorten the straps, hem the bottom, and then for added flair, I embroidered the top. Issue number 1 is that it is entirely too long for me. See, like this one, I don't think I folded it over enough, but it's gonna have to do. That's me locking it in. I feel like I'm definitely going faster than before. I'm gonna slow it down. Okay, so the hem looks nice and everything, but because I didn't do a perfect hem, I just did like a single fold and then I sewed it down. It seemed fine, but I should have done a zigzag stitch on the edge, and I didn't. So what I'm gonna do is cut all of the excess strands and then iron it and fold it over twice like an actual hem is supposed to be, and then I'm gonna sew it back completely. But this side is where I was showing you guys. When I was sewing on the machine, I missed some of it because it wasn't folded over. So it wasn't folded over thick enough, so when I did my trim, it came apart, of course, because it was not sewn. After removing the hem, I pressed the fabric flat. I folded it over and pinned it down for the first fold in the hem. Pressed that, folded it over once again, and then I had to pin it down for a final time and press it so that it was a double fold, and then I hemmed it for the final time. Here's the before and the after. Now addressing the pancake boob. Now that I've opened up the space on the side, I have to sew this back down so that I can have a hem, a seam. So I'm going to sew down the sides, but also because I removed the inside seam, I've got to go over this again to secure it and then do my Y so that I can sew in my little patches and sew them together. So that's what I'm doing now. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Could be more beautiful. But as a newbie, I'm not looking for perfection. Here you go, you can see I've sewn this down. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Okay, I've never done this before. So connected these two parts to secure it before pinning this piece, and I'm gonna sew it in like that. I decided to add some flair to the front of this jumpsuit because it was quite boring to look at and I'm a bit extra. So I figured I was just going to embroider. I've been inspired by my friend Esper and she has been embroidering things, and I said I want to give it a try, but I wanted to be practical since I knew I was going to be working on this jumpsuit and I figured this was the perfect opportunity. First, I sketched how I wanted my pattern to lie on the fabric. I thought about the shape of the bust and how I wanted it to kind of be like a sweetheart line, and I just winged it. So I sketched it out on paper and then I traced it from the paper to the stabilizing fabric that was pinned down to the paper, and then I used that to transfer it to the garment, which was done as I embroidered. I've pinned it, but I definitely regret drawing it in blue. You can barely see it. What the heck was I thinking? I think I'm gonna trace it with this, but they said to be sure not to use this for a project that's going to take you longer than 24 hours. Yeah. Whoops. Have all of my colors, and I've never done this before. Embroidery needles and the thread. I instantly went from excited to embroider to feeling overwhelmed at my lack of skill. Okay, because I had never embroidered anything before. I was watching this YouTube video and this lady was so advanced. She made everything look so easy. And the very first stitch that I tried was an advanced stitch where you have to kind of coil the thread around the needle and then go back into the fabric, and it's supposed to be a knot. Well, I had a knot, but it wasn't the right knot, and I got flustered very quickly, which led me to try a more basic stitch. And then after I did a few of the basic stitches, you can see that I'm progressively getting better, doing more, a wider variety of stitches, and then I go back and try some of the more advanced stitches that I was overwhelmed with, especially the one here, the magenta fabric, the magenta embroidery thread, and it turned out beautifully for a beginner, I'll say. After that, I trimmed the stabilizing fabric, and then I put the garment in the washing machine, and the stabilizing fabric disappeared so quickly that I was unable to capture it on camera. So then I did a demonstration so that you guys could see. So I got some extra fabric just to show you guys how easy it is for this fabric to disintegrate once wet. As you can see, it has dissolved. You see? There's a little bit of residue left in the cup, but you can barely tell, and I bet if I left it in water, it would dissolve completely. The final issue with this jumpsuit was that my boobs were exposed too much at the top and on the sides, and it was just ill-fitting, so I wanted to shorten the straps. My machine would not sew the double denim. Even with the denim needle, my foot wouldn't lift high enough, the foot of the machine, so I had to cut that fabric and to secure the straps with a back stitch. And so I just went over each strap twice with the back stitch in both directions, and this is how it looks. Yep, this is it. Covered up the side boob. It's a little bit better better than it was. The embroidery looks really nice. Looks better than I could have ever anticipated, honestly. And the straps are no longer falling off. So, yep. Let's see here. So yeah, I think this project is a win. I'm gonna wear the mess out of this. I'm gonna wear the mess out of this outfit while I can still fit into it, because as you know, if you've been following along, you know that my husband and I do desire to have another baby, or to try again. We did have a miscarriage. Not gonna just include that in all my videos, but yeah, I don't anticipate him being able to fit into this much longer if the Lord blesses us with a child. So yeah, but I'm gonna wear the mess out of this. So I cannot promise that you won't see me in a couple of videos wearing this with all of the love and the labor that I put into this outfit. But I got this from SHEIN. If you are a tall lady or a medium height lady, it's gonna work for you much better than it did for someone like me. I'm 5'2", and I wear a medium. It has pockets. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.